Good evening, ladies and gents. Here bringing you a little tutorial on a little something you can do for this Halloween season. Something that you can do with your kids. Something simple. I myself do not have the right materials. However, I do have this 4 sheets of paper. For this, due to the circumstances that I don't have much. So I will be using an orange highlighter and a pencil. That's usually all you're gonna need. So, what you're gonna want to do is this. Let me set it up like this. Now, hello. Have your paper. Of course, have something underneath your paper. Before anything, you don't want to end up staining your table. Here's what you're gonna want to do. Usually around the Halloween season, you could, technically speaking, buy decorations for your house to decorate your house for the Halloween season. However, it can get a little pricey, so why not make some homemade decorations? Which is what I'm going to be showing you in this tutorial. Here I have a white sheet of paper. Well, not necessarily white, it's lined paper, but it's still paper nonetheless, and it will do the job. Here's what you can do. What you can do is you can simply you you can do whatever you want. You can make a pumpkin, you can make a ghost hanging around your house. But for now, I will be making a simple pumpkin. The extra sheets of paper are simply just in case I am to mess it up or simply break the paper, of course. So, you're just going to want to make a little pumpkin. I don't necessarily have a reference sheet for a pumpkin, so I will be trying my best on this. Sure, the camera angle is a bit not too good, but gonna back it up, back it up, back it up. There we go. There we go. Now, what you want to do is simply make a little pumpkin shape, I think I already messed up a few things in. I haven't done this I haven't really made anything. I haven't made a pumpkin in a while, so it's going to take some trial and error. It doesn't have to come out perfect. It's the thought that counts for when you're trying to do this. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the perfect shape. Of course, you're gonna want to have the stump, as we see here. We have our pumpkin. Now, of course, we're gonna need some details, some eyes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the eyes. I hope that I can recreate properly the other side. Again, doesn't really have to be perfect. It just has to be spooky. Now, of course, fill it in. You could use crayon. You just color pencils for this. I'm just simply using a pencil for simplicity's sake. Again, doesn't really have to be perfect, but if you want to make a good pumpkin, you can do that. That is acceptable. Fill out this side too. Now, of course, gotta give it a big old grin. So let's do that. There we go. We have the grin. Now, of course, again, color it in. This is a little something fun that you can just, again, like I've mentioned before. I keep repeating myself. A little something to do with your kids. If you wanna, if your kids invite their friends over and you want them to have a nice little time, you can ask them if they want to make some of these because this is quite fun. Let your creativity run wild. Now, while you're shading, does not have to be perfect. Mistakes, you will be making mistakes here and there, potentially, but that's okay. As the great artist Bob Ross has said, these are just happy little accidents. Right. Finishing up down here. There we go. We have our pumpkin. Now, of course, you can go ahead and color it through. Of course, I have a sharp highlighter, so it's not gonna be necessarily the best, but I will try. Gotta go in a big round circle to do this. Yeah, the camera's shaky quite a lot. I apologize. I don't have the steadiest of hands. Oh, seems like this marker's actually a bit dry. Let's see what I can muster up here. It's actually coming along quite nicely. If I find something that I can use green for the stem, I will get back to it. But before that, I'm going to make one more thing, because this tutorial is a little bit too long now. I don't want to go on to make a 30-minute tutorial. Just something quite simple, 10 to 15 minutes. Of course, you're going to want to cut these too. You're going to want to cut these. Because what's the fun of simply just having a piece of paper with a pumpkin on it if you can't display it as solely the pumpkin? Man, look at this. It's been a while since I've done something like this. Of course, try to go around where we colored in. That way it doesn't mix together. We have a nice orange pumpkin. Of course, the color is a bit faded, as you can tell, but other than that, it's still coming along pretty well. And the attempt is what means more than the final product overall. As you can see here, try to get preciseness. There we go. Have a little bit where we didn't color it in. Oops, I went up the paper a bit. Overall, this pumpkin is turning out quite nicely. Sure, one eye is slightly bigger than the other. Some of the marking color of the pumpkin itself is darker than other parts, but coming along. It's coming along. Actually, give me a moment. I'll try to. Actually, hold on. I will just pause it. So here is a before. When the video keeps playing, when I unpause this, it will look done. And here is the final product. I'd say it came out quite nicely. Of course, the face itself does not have to be exactly how I made it. You can get creative with and put on whatever kind of face you want to do. You have different, of course, different expressions. You can even make it a different color. It doesn't necessarily have to be an orange pumpkin, unless you want it to be more of a spook, fit more with the Halloween season. I'd say appropriate colors would be like, of course, orange, purple, and black. Now with a black pumpkin, you could have some nice design changes. How like you could keep the mouth and eyes white, so it would be a black and white pumpkin, which would be a nifty little treat. Now, I will be making a ghost. A ghost. So, I will be cutting this after I make the ghost. This is an a neat little piece that I've made here. We'll put this to the side, and we'll move along to the ghost. Now, the ghost could be made in each way. You can have the ghost like this, and you don't necessarily have to color it in. Ghosts are, you can keep the ghost as is. Of course, you would have to fill in the eyes and the mouth. So, how would I make a ghost? Okay, that is a bit of a tricky, but I will try my best. Of course, let's go with a little squiggly squiggle. We move to the arm. We move here. Here, we have a nice little ghost body. Sure, it is not as big as the pumpkin, but it gives you plenty of room to make another ghost. You can make a smaller ghost using the rest of the paper. Now, what kind of expression would we say this ghost will have? Well, let's go for something standard. Let's go for circle eyes. Let's color them in. There we go. And let's go with a tongue here. Let's fill it in. A spooky ghost right here. Actually, I'm gonna go see if I have anything that I can use to color the rest of this in. Give me one moment. I have found some crayons that I've had here. Time to put them out here. So, I don't seem to have any pink. But however, here's what I will do. I will put the pumpkin back on, and I'm going to, going to color a little bit more with the orange crayon here. Oh yeah, hold on. There is a black color that I could also use to lighten up the mouth for it to be a little more dark. Of course, what you could do is you could trace over the line that you used to make the pumpkin shape to highlight it a little more. That way you know exactly where the lines are, so that they are more vibrant too. Of course, I will be also doing the same for the ghost with the mouth and the eyes. Here we go. Here we go. Let's bring out the orange again. And let's color in a bit more here. I have to apply a bit of pressure to make the orange a little darker here. Around the parts where it's a little too light. Hold on. Actually, I'm going to be right back with the finished products here. Give me a moment. And now we have both done. I'm going to go get a pair of scissors really quick and cut them up. Keep in mind, however, please make sure you have an adult do this part for you. If you're a kid and you want to do this, you don't want to end up cutting yourself or cutting something that you shouldn't. I've got my scissors. Of course, I had to turn the lights on simply just to be able to cut these with precision. Remember, kids, scissors, when used incorrectly, can be really dangerous and can cause severe harm. So, without further ado, I'm going to be cutting these up. Just let me set this up real quick. Okay. Try it. Jeez. Right. This ought to be good. Of course, I'm going to be cutting the ghost, but this one's going to be a bit tricky because I did the squiggly lines rather than straight, so this one is going to be quite of a doozy. But hey, perfection is an illusion. Here we go. Nothing has to be perfect. If you are happy with how it turns out, no matter what, if someone tells you that it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. You did it the way you wanted it to get. You wanted it done. It is in your own vision, so you don't have to worry about it not fitting others because it's yours. If they don't like the way that you did it, they can make their own. Always remember that. It's all about perspective. Sure, this video is getting a little too long, but hey. If you don't see the process through, maybe you won't be able to understand. Hey, sometimes some people like watching throughout the whole thing. A little something. It's not every day that you necessarily do this either way. Unless you really like art, then you're probably doing this every day. One cannot blame you. Letting your creativity run wild, making things that could only be envisioned in your imagination or dreams, bring them to the real world. It'll always be a hoot. No matter what. Gotta keep a positive tone during this process. It's not every, and yet again, it's not every day you're making ghosts and pumpkins. Because necessarily speaking, this is all these types of things are normally reserved for the autumn season. Good old pumpkin carving, trick or treating, man. The fun stuff. So it's making sure that you're safe during every single process is also awesome. Safety is very important. Almost done. To halfway. Oh, I think I cut a bit into the arm. That's alright. Or hey, if you want, you could put these in a binder. You could put them in a binder. Show off your spooky day spirit. Show them to your friends. Or you can make them into a little scrapbook. You can do them to a little scrapbook. There are many uses here that I've just described. I'll probably just cut the pumpkin on my own time, and this will be the one thing that I cut. Because this video is getting a little too long. People don't got all the time in the world to be watching things like this. But people will watch a 7-hour video on the lore of Bloons Tower Defense. And we're done. Ta-da! A little ghost of our own. Look at that. Look at how it turned out. It's small, but it's very good. This has been really fun to do. I will be doing this pumpkin on my own time. I hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful Halloween. Thank you and goodbye.